can watch us too. We are on your computer, your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. I've got a full house here on Good Things Today, and that always makes me happy. And I've got a heartwarming story to kick off your Christmas week here. Joining us today is Sawyer and his mom and dad, Jennifer and Alex, in the studio. And then by phone, we got Officer Beckom. And they've all come together for a great story that's going to put a smile on your face. So welcome all. Welcome, Officer Beckom.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
But we're all here today because of Sawyer and his generosity. So welcome, Sawyer.
Thank you.
All right. So take me back when this story happened. You saw Officer Beckom where?
At Chick-fil-A in Columbus.
Chick-fil-A in Columbus. Now, had you already premeditated, as they would say in law enforcement, your good deed, or was it a spur-of-the-moment sort of thing for you?
We actually have been talking about, since it's Christmas, we were trying to work on, doing good things like that, and since it's Christmas time.
Since it's Christmas time. Okay, so, Mom, obviously this is something that the family had been talking about. We're going to get to what Sawyer did for Officer Beckom. But back us up. When did you guys as a family kind of start thinking through, hey, this is a season of giving and sort of sharing love, and we're going to do that as a family?
Sure. Well, I guess just starting out the first week of December, we start thinking about good things that we can do, random acts of kindness, and a couple of people that I follow on Instagram were kind of giving suggestions of things. So when Sawyer and I we had a Sawyer and Mommy day that day, and when we got to Chick-fil-A for lunch, I looked around and there was Officer Beckom was sitting behind us, and there were 2 Columbus police officers in front of us. And I kind of looked at Sawyer and I was like, hey, maybe we should do something for these officers because their work is so hard and we appreciate what they do so much. So how can we give back? And then we started talking about it from there.
So are you in the line at Chick-fil-A, or are you eating your nuggets at the table and all this is going down?
Eating nuggets.
So what came to mind for you, Sawyer? What came to mind for you in terms of paying it forward to Officer Beckom?
Probably the Lord talking to me. Saying, this is your chance, this is what I want you to do right now.
And what was that?
It was the giving the gift cards to the officers.
Giving the gift cards to Officer. Okay, Officer Beckom, you're probably just on lunch duty, I would assume. You're in uniform. If they're looking at SuperTalk TV, they do have the photo of you and Sawyer there that day. So from your perspective, what happened?
I knew there was something special about Sawyer. When I walked in, we made eye contact, and I spoke to him, and I had this weird feeling that this young man is very special in some kind of way. And so by him giving me and the other 2 officers cards, I really was thankful to have the opportunity to see the special part of Sawyer, before I had the opportunity to leave that restaurant.
Well, I love that, and I mean, obviously, what you guys do every day is an act of service, just in your profession as law enforcement. What does it feel like, or what does it mean, Officer Beckom? I know you speak on behalf of the other officers that day and the rest. When you do get recognized out in public, maybe not every time on a gift card, but just the fact that people recognize the hard work you guys do.
Well, the hard work that we do, it's a calling, but at the end of the day or end of the month, a week, there's a paycheck waiting on us. But, when people like Sawyer do those type of things, it's just paying it forward, and but there's nothing monetary at the end of the week. So to me, he took from, his Christmas to give to us, and to me, that was just one of the most special things that has happened during this holiday season for me right now.
Officer Beckom, have you cashed in your Christmas present yet? Have you gone back and got you some nuggets and fries?
Not yet. And it's weird. I'll hold on to it for a while just because, it is really special to me, and I've really thought about Sawyer a lot, since today. And he's got to have great parents to even be talking about those type of things. And to me, it's nothing that he's had to think about doing, so that type of thing is instilled in people, and I appreciate his parents for the work that they do with Sawyer and their children.
Sawyer, were you a little nervous to go up? You a little guy up to big Officer Beckom. Was it you tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, mister?
A little bit.
Where'd you get the courage to do that?
Probably the Lord. He always gives us all strength to do anything.
He is. What was it like for you to provide him with a little happy?
It felt good. Felt really good.
Yeah, and that's part of the lesson there, right, Dad? You know, as Sawyer's dad, when you start to teach people, especially your kids, about giving, this time of year, you know, you're cleaning out the toy box or whatever it was prior, and they're like, oh, it's my favorite toy! And you're like, no, sometimes it is better, the gift, you know, in terms of giving, and you get something good in return. So what's it like seeing him actually recognize, hey, when I give something away, there's something good that happens, you know, back. The feeling is good coming back.
That's just what we hope that he feels from that when we try to teach things like that and instill things in him. When we recognize that he realizes that God's speaking to him that way and that he gets that feeling in his heart that'll last forever, and other people see that. So that's the best gift to me is, you know, not only did he receive that, I mean, and Officer Beckom receive a blessing, I did also, just seeing him.
And I think everybody listening to Good Things Sawyer is receiving the same blessing or has seen it on Facebook. Officer Beckom, that's where I saw it. You guys shared it with the Mississippi Highway Patrol's Facebook page. And, you know, we're moving into, Officer Beckom, the actual Christmas or Christmas Eve and then Christmas holiday. You know, we think about being with our families, but there's going to be a lot of law enforcement and highway patrolmen that, you know, are giving up being there Christmas morning or being there Christmas afternoon to help serve. So what do you want us to think of knowing that we're still safe and sound with you guys out there protecting the highways and byways?
Yes, ma'am. We will be out there, you know, doing what we normally do, and that's having a strong presence of patrolling to deter, you know, people from doing the things that they shouldn't do, you know. And that's speeding, driving under the influence, whatever it may be, because it's just so important to us that, you know, every person is home for the holidays, and that really makes us happy. You know, our number is 0 fatalities, you know, throughout our holiday period, you know, and again, it's just so important to us that happens.
And how important, too, is it, Officer Beckom, that more parents listening to Good Things, or even grandparents, you don't have to get officers gift cards or presents, but I love the part where Sawyer was taught to have the courage just to come up and speak to a police officer, right? Like, you know, break those barriers of communication, recognize that they are people out to protect them. So just to say hi or give a high five, that would also warm your heart.
Yes, absolutely. Whenever parents or young kids come up and say, you know, thank you for your service, things like that, that gives us that extra push a lot of times, you know, because we do have some tough days out there, but for our public to, you know, recognize us for the job that we do, it does says a lot. And most times we say thank you, but honestly, to me, it's never enough, you know, when we have that good citizen to do that for us, and it does kind of break the barrier. So, you know, most officers, we're always open and willing to have that conversation with adults, and especially children, because a lot of us have kids, and so, you know, that interaction with law enforcement officers, you know, we want that to be good at all times.
Well, Officer Beckom, I appreciate you taking time away from your family to join us here on Good Things. And you do know if you use the gift card, you can keep it as a reminder.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right about that. I'll definitely do that. But I guess if I just hold on to it and know there's still some cash on it that I can cash in, you know, for a meal, it just takes a little bit more. And Sawyer, again, thank you so much for being who you are. Just pray, and well, I know that you'll continue to be that great young man and having that giving spirit. And again, parents, thank you all so much, because that truly made my day. As you can really see the big smile on my face when we took the picture. That was before that, you know, he and his mom, you know, and dad allowed me to share that. You know, that really meant a lot to us and to our agency as well.
Well, I love that. Merry Christmas, Officer Beckom, and wish them to your family as well.
Yeah,
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas.
So when you, Alex and Jennifer, were sitting at home thinking about teaching your kids, you know, the importance of paying it forward or recognizing, you know, our law enforcement, did you ever think you'd wind up with all this?
No clue at all. Jennifer just told me what they had done there at Chick-fil-A and said, ask if it was okay to share. Well, yeah, sure. Didn't think. It just kept getting shared. Never thought we'd be talking about it here.
Well, it's definitely part of the reason for the season, Sawyer. You've inspired a lot of people with your kindness and your generosity, and we hope that you have a Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, and sister too. She's sitting over there. She deserves an ice cream or something for being so good. And kudos to parents too. You've inspired us all of recognizing what it means for the season and how little acts of kindness can really bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you guys stick with us. We got more good for you coming.